Hello everybody, Fearmy Games, the new part of the DEI Cimmeria campaign, and here we are to finish off the filthy Selucid Empire. The last settlement of Parsa is right here. If you remember last time we took Sajakarta. The in-between episodes, the Sakarakas, as I've dubbed them, even though that's probably not the right pronunciation, declared war on us, so we will be dealing with them soon. This army is already poised and ready to charge, and even though it's not our strongest army, I think it can still do the trick of slapping around a few armies of some pathetic AI. Meanwhile, our stronger army over here is I'm going to try and send this one towards Nissa. It will probably be replenished by the time it arrives. Only will take it a turn or two before it's fully replenished from its attrition. Maybe might take a little damage for the rebel army. I don't remember if this is the army that actually wiped out the rebel army with this one or not, or if they killed themselves. I don't quite remember. But currently this is our strongest army in the land, and it's moving to attack. We know we have two armies here in Parsa, and of course we have our usual garrison army in the north. I don't think we actually have any other armies though. Let's see, one, two. The Ares Dread and the Centaurs are pretty strong. This guy right here is my best guy for managing settlements. The 150s, you can tell, are all my garrison armies. Everything else is armies. Like these guys here are just, their job is just to sit here and to nice, keep an eye out, make sure the barbarians to our north do not attack our homeland of the Bosphorus. Ares Dread here are already sieging Parthia. No, not Parthia. Parsa. Jeez. So let's attack. Might as well, right? Nothing's stopping us now. We're gonna control large army, though I think I'm gonna mostly just make use of my army, my second army, not really to attack, but more to just kind of draw away some of the enemy forces. That way, while my main army is pushing in, they can maybe draw off a few forces to defend an area where I'm not actually going to attack them. Depending on where they end up. If they end up behind me, then I'll definitely like incorporate them to the battle, because why not? But as things stands, I'm planning to let the Ares Dread be the main primary thrust. This is actually the second time recording this video. It wasn't because I failed or anything like that or crashed. I just so happened that last time I recorded this video, I made a mistake and the video didn't actually record. So this is take two. So I've already defeated this settlement and made it my own. But you know, maybe I can do a little bit better on strategy this time around. Last time I had one unit get wiped out on the walls because I basically what ended up happening was, we'll see if it happens again, is I had actually successfully taken the walls for myself. But what ended up happening is that after I took the walls for myself, the enemy had actually basically, I took the walls and then I started coming down off the walls to attack the enemy. But when I did that, the enemy kind of pushed themselves along to the walls. So basically, I destroyed everything on the ground, and then they sent a bunch of people up onto the walls. I lost one unit, only one unit, but that one unit ended up being my tongue's not working properly right now. But yeah, it was quite funny. It was unfortunate for that one unit, those hoplites, because they broke because walls. I think because of the situation where it's like if a formation's breached, you get a big morale hit. So essentially, there was a giant morale hit because of the fact that a bunch of hoplites that kind of broke, got up the stairs and technically broke their formation. I use quotes because, I mean, what did they expect? You're up on the walls, you know? My thorax swordsmen, though, were able to hold the line without any difficulty because they were a little bit off of the wall. They were over here. They weren't off the wall, but they're a little bit away from the tower, so they had a steady line, so they were basically just beating up on 3 hoplite units while I cleaned house on the bottom. I had originally gone this, I'm doing the same formation I did last time. The reason originally I did this was because I'm not sure if I'll be able to fit everything on these walls, so to play it safe, I ended up setting that ladder over there. I did find on the battle that I could have gripped them together, but I actually liked what I did over here, so I'm going to do it again. Mostly because it really helped me end the stalemate at the gate. Because what happened is, once I brought this guy in here, I was able to capture the gates and open up the horses. I'm going to do the same thing now. A bit of a spoiler warning if that actually ends up happening. But that's just what happens sometimes. I think they'll just have to do. I cannot get that siege tower to go straight. It's always crooked. I don't remember having that problem my first time around. Oh, that's different. They're actually... Never mind. That's not different. Okay. Alright, so now we're going to set up the siege towers up on the walls to capture. And our reinforcing army has arrived. Hey, you're by yourself. You guys should all be grouped together, honestly. You should all be part of group 1, except for this guy's by himself. And this is our reinforcing army. Still a little bit... The elephant, I think, is the only thing that's wounded in this army. Everything else, I believe, is essentially healthy. So we're just going to kind of move up here and just cause some general havoc on the enemy by... actually, I'm going to group up the elephants separately. And if I see the opportunity, I might just barge in again. However, what happened last time was when I barged in, hoplites did what hoplites did best, and they held a chokepoint. I beat them up, but I did lose one of my units of elephants. I'd rather not have that happen again. Let's see. Our fire damage is going okay. I don't see which one this is attacking. But everything seems to be going okay so far. Yeah, oh, these guys are actually being attacked, I think. It's hard for me to tell, really, actually. Oh, these guys should not be in that group. This should be in another group. Group 4. Perfect. So you guys are group 1. I'm separating these guys mostly because I want to make sure that they do not get hit by the same attack, which would, I think, just cause general mayhem and disorder. So let's see, we can't see where the enemy infantry is positioned, but we do know that none of them are currently on the wall. I think we can start seeing some of the militia and hoplites holding the gate. Most likely, considering AI behavior, the general's probably going to be around this victory point over here. So I find the AI tends to hold one unit in reserve at all times. Honestly, it's not a bad idea making sure your general is in reserve, so that way he doesn't get obliterated and affect your army's morale at key junctures in the battle. These guys are making their way steadily over. Honestly, they don't really need to run. I'm going to walk them. Put the link right there and walk them. What position is my elephant army? 7. I just want them to be more stretched out a little bit. So we have landed on the gates. These are our Assyrian infantry. I think our Assyrian infantry should do better than the enemy hoplites and militia should be doing up on the walls, because these guys are not phalanx guys. These guys are designed to be fighting a little bit more individually. And on the walls is where individual strength really comes into effect. Double thorax swordsman right here should definitely beat these guys up. Looks like they're going to try charging my my hoplites over here, which is a bit surprising. On the bright side, once I wipe these guys out... Oh, let's see. More enemies coming up on the walls here, but perfect spot for our Assyrian infantry to wipe them out. And over here, these guys are going to get up on the walls. I'm going to use these guys to capture the gatehouse over here and potentially open up an avenue. They actually assigned an extra unit here compared to last time. Maybe the enemies learned. So once we get up on the walls, I want them to immediately... I guess they won't let me move them there until they actually get up there. That's annoying. So the gate is destroyed. I don't want to dedicate my thorax swordsman into there too early, because that, I think, will just cause problems in the long run. I also want to make sure that I do not invest these guys until it's needed. One thing I didn't do in the first battle is I didn't make use of these guys too much, so I'm going to invest them now when I think they're going to be the most effective. In situations like this where these guys are kind of like in between two enemies, so they're technically being flanked now. So it's going to inflict a morale penalty on them. These ones, though, I do not want down there. I actually want these guys to assist over here. Oh, my guys actually pushed them back and took the stairs down below. I was not expecting that. That's going to make things a little bit more awkward for us. I might be able to provide some assistance there, especially if I can bring in these Threos Spearmen. The reason I bring in these Threos Spearmen over is because I see that and part of the enemy is Cavalry. So we want to make sure we're able to deal with that efficiently. Thorax Swordsmen are going to be very good at keep taking these walls for me. These guys are about to actually be flanked. So I definitely want to get these guys up on the walls as soon as possible. Let's see, how's it looking over here? I'm going to get these guys in position here, see if they can start capping this tower. Or that way I can potentially get my general's bodyguard in here. Yeah, at least for now, we might be able to cap this tower. Perfect. And this guy's now officially been surrounded, but reinforcements. Oh no, 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 no. That's not where we want you to go. Why would you ever think that's a good idea, you idiots? For some reason, our Georgian swordsman thought, I told you to go up on the walls. You know the best way to go up on walls is through the enemy on the floor. That's not what you're supposed to do. That's not a very smart thing to do at all. I'm gonna have these guys just throw their javelins at the enemy. We can soften them up a little bit for free. Alright, now let's see if they'll do what they're supposed to do. No, 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 no. There's a siege tower right in front of you. There's literally, it's right there. I can see it with my own eyes. Perfect. These gates are now under our control. I can't quite, you know, push in and attack right now because this unit is very heavily outnumbered. So we're going to wait for that area to clean up a little bit. But we have successfully taken this area. So I'm going to start trying to get my men up on the walls. You know, they will actually listen to me. Once again, you people, just because there's a gate destroyed does not mean there are not other ways to get on the walls. Thank you. Some people. Alright, perfect. We're slowly pushing our way in and taking this section of the wall. So I'm going to start getting these guys up here. I'm not going to use this siege tower because I don't want to get these guys. Well, I mean, I probably could actually get them in there. Now that I think about it, but I won't. I'm going to get these guys up on the wall. Once these guys break, I'll be able to swoop in here. So now we're able to get our Georgians into the flank here and cause some problems there. This unit is probably going to suffer quite a lot just due to the nature of this fight, but sacrifices have to be made for the greater good. Alright, I'm going to keep going this way then. I'm going to charge this guy over here. And we can squish this lone unit of hoplites that are just sitting there between my Syrian infantry and my thorax swordsmen. And once these guys get up on the wall, we'll be able to just swoop in and end of story. These guys are now effectively useless because they're not participating in the battle, which I think is just fine with me. Charging their flank now. These guys are still holding on pretty strong. The enemy has noticed what's going on, so they're going to start coming down. But I can make use of this to my advantage and bring down my Assyrian infantry to start wreaking some havoc as well. I can engage my cavalry. We're gonna have to wait until this unit is officially destroyed before I can actually get my guys off the walls, but it will do nicely. These guys are being sandwiched by my thorax swordsmen and my Assyrian infantry. So these guys should fall pretty soon. And these guys, of course, are being pushed in by my Georgians. So now this unit is getting a little bit of support. I don't know how well it's going to survive, but at least seems to be doing a good job. My Thorax swordsmen are doing barely taking, comparatively speaking, barely taking any damage. They're dishing out more than they receive, is what I'm saying. I don't see where the enemy cav is right now. I don't see it engaged in any of the battles over here. Actually, now that I think about it, I don't think I can actually get through the walls. The gate, unless it's in my favor, which means these guys need to win if I'm going to be able to get my calf through this door. But funnily enough, because I actually have essentially won this flank, I can actually get this over here a little bit faster than waiting over here. Yeah, I honestly think the wall is just going to be a battle of attrition in the long run. This hoplite unit is unfortunately kind of stuck, and the support I can provide is minimal. Yeah, that guy's about to be destroyed. Let's see. These Assyrians are losing the battle right now. Even though we're pushing technically into their flank, their phalanx is still working out nicely for them. So I'm going to try and get these guys through the gates and around to try and provide some support to take out those Greek hoplites. So those guys are looking about ready to break. My Georgian swordsmen are doing a good job of cutting down the enemy here. No surprise there. I got them because they're pretty good attackers. Their defensive stats aren't the best, but you know, I admittedly got them primarily as a flanking unit, not as a direct attack unit. But they're doing good enough. Yeah, this unit about to break, and if it breaks, it's gonna probably die. Unfortunate, but just a fact of life. It's about to take a little bit longer down there. These guys are looking more and more likely they're gonna break, so come on, hold, man, hold. Let's see, if I'm gonna try to move my general over here, maybe I can save that situation. Oh my, there is actually their enemy Greek calves right there. Oh, that unit's about to break. Suddenly, my unit went from losing to winning when I wasn't paying attention. I'm surprised. Somehow, some of them got on this flank too. That is, I guess there probably is like the formations were breached. We're flanked by one unit. The reason I'm trying to move my general here, if I can use his morale boost to steady. Yep. It looks like it's already working already. Using my general's morale boost will hopefully my guys to win this battle. Because the moment they break is the moment they lose the battle. These guys should very easily win this battle because they're against medium shock cavalry in a sustained melee fight. Yep, that should finish those guys off. Yep, they're no longer a threat. My Syrians did a very good job there. I'm gonna start engaging these guys over here. Flanking, that one's about to break. You can do it. I'm going to use my general's ability here to inspire and raise the banner. I'm tempted to rally, but I think they're steady now, so they don't need me to do it. Oh, another break. Perfect. The walls are about to be ours with, I think, minimal casualties. See, the enemy is not bothering to look in my direction. That's a mistake that they're going to pay for with their life. They are trying to turn around, but I'm not sure if they braced in time. I'm going to pull off now. Fools, you thought I wasn't going to attack? You were wrong, if that's what you thought. You may be spearmen, but I got a rear charge on you. So I'm going to pull back once my Threo spearmen are engaged. I'm going to start moving up my Assyrians now. I'm going to walk them, though. I don't want to run them. The hoplites are officially we're going to squeeze this last little citizen militia there, wiping it off the face of this earth. And I'm going to get my men in position to move up. Thankfully, the Assyrian infantry took the brunt of the damage in that little combat. So I'm actually going to walk him. I'm going to start getting the rest of my units up on the walls and over. Admittedly, I don't even really need to hold where I am. I could probably just bring them through the gates now, if I'm being honest. Like, my general can just go right through the gates there. Might as well order these hoplites to wipe them out. I definitely did a bit of a better job now that I kept these guys alive, because these guys died in the last battle. Last time I did this battle, they did not this time, which just goes to show I can in fact improve. I'm actually gonna order these guys over there, because these guys still count towards the army total. I believe I have had a situation in the previous episode, if you guys might remember, where the enemy army was considered not rallying, did not break and give me the victory because of the fact that they still had there's a way up here. Because they can still have the army, and the army was the ballista, so that's why I'm starting to engage my troops around that area. And we've captured the gates. The enemy has been destroyed, and we're gonna hop off these walls. You don't need to run, guys. You did a good fight. You can walk. You've earned this rest. All riders are the one who needs to move the most. I'm gonna order this guy to run up. Yeah, still in good order, I'd say. So I'm gonna run this one over here. The way up is there. Unless that towers also might be a way up. I don't think so though. Yeah, there's the enemy general there. We can see him there. So I'm going to move the thorax swordsman there. I'm going to get my Threo spearmen here. I'm actually going to run these guys, though, up around. Well, my general, I'm also going to start running him around, too. They're almost in position. Once they're in position, I'm going to dismount them and have them climb up the walls and wipe out that siege unit. Dismount and then go get them, boys. Our men are almost in position. See them marching nicely. They're active and or fresh. From a fierce fighting against taking the walls. I wonder if there actually is somebody just waiting over here for me to attack, and they're like, where's the attack we're supposed to be ready for again? I thought we were supposed to be fighting people. Why am I just sitting here staring at this gate? Hush, hush, your very presence is what's stopping them from coming in, I swear. That's probably what's going on right there. I'm not gonna lie, I quite enjoy these new headphones. They arrived today. I was hoping they would come yesterday. And I love the fact that I can now hear the game out of both ears now. Before, my other headset for some reason was not working properly, so I could only really hear out of, but I think it was the left ear. Definitely is not my epitome of good audio quality. Why did my general suddenly change direction? I don't like that. Got a flanking charge there to finish these guys off. My general goes right there. I'm going to dismount these guys now, and I'm going to have them, once they're dismounted, climb up on the walls and do what I had the other guys do, and wipe the floor with that ballista dude. Get a nice little rear charge off on them. These guys are surrounded and will slowly die. I'm not even sure this rear charge will actually do much, due mostly to the fact that I did have to go through a little bit of my own troops there. But it did look like it did do some damage, so there is that. Come on, boyos. I know you're used to being on horses, but you can still run, right? Yeah, they're Bosporus hippies or Bosporan cavalry. Alright, they'll wipe those guys out. I'm gonna have these guys start capturing that tower, just in case we need to. You know, just more of a just in case measure than anything else. Okay, these guys are slowly getting cut down. Thrail swordsman for the front, and Thrail spearman for the back. Actually, is it Thraeus or Thorax? Thraeus swordsman, yes. We don't have Thorax swordsman, actually. Even though we have the Thorax, you know, referendum or reforms or whatever it's called, we don't have any of those. But I did actually know something in my last recording, is that I now have Bosporan infantry, which is supposed to be like inspired by Romans. So I think what I'm going to do, which I did at the end of the last video, which I plan to do this video too, is I want to make another army, and that one is going to be essentially Bosphorus take on Rome. It would be like primarily infantry and archers with only like 2 supporting cav units, which I feel like kind of would fit not too poorly with a Roman army. I was using some of the heavy Bosporan spearmen that I've unlocked. I think that was kind of nice. There's apparently is enough of the enemy left to somehow not cause me to win, militarily speaking. Especially considering I wiped out. These guys getting slowly peppered by arrow fire because I was a bit dumb. I think that's exactly what's been happening with these guys. Yeah, the enemy is somewhere. I don't know where that somewhere is, but they are somewhere. Most likely they're by the tower there, but I will win definitely off of capture points at least. With all these towers now capped in my favor, or at least no longer an enemy, they will not be a threat. And unlike in Attila, or at least with the 1212 AD mod, it won't destroy the entire unit who captures the tower. I hated that. I'm like, I captured this tower. Why is it killing my entire unit? Like randomly just falls apart. It's like, what the fuck? That's some bullshit right there. That's all I can say about that. I guess this tower went back into the enemy hands. I'm going to use my general to do a little bit of scouting over here, just to see if there is an enemy infantry that I should be somewhat worried about. Because there is definitely something here that's holding up this battle. We have captured a tower. Tower is mine. That unit's almost at the tower to capture it. Yeah, they have 2. Oh my god! My general just got swarmed right there. My general better not die before this battle's about to end. I'll be pissed. He's still fresh though, so he shouldn't die too quickly. But they're being hit by tower fire endlessly at the same time. They're taking heavy losses for the cause, but it should end soon enough. Hopefully not too late for my general. Yeah, this is why that we didn't win due to army losses. Because it was because they had a decent amount of troops just sitting there waiting for an army that never came through. That's what I was talking about, big brain strats. The second army didn't even need to do anything. That's how awesome that strategy was. So Patras is ours. That one actually took 26 minutes this time. In the original playthrough was only about 18 minutes. I think that was entirely because I didn't engage my other army there, so it didn't wipe out the units that were there, and thus prompting an army loss, routing for the enemy side. A bit of an oopsies on my part, but oh well. This army is going to take a few turns to rest to recover. Keep an eye on Patras, make sure nothing takes my new territory. And then I'll probably send this one to the south, into the Arabian Peninsula. This one, or maybe a different army, but probably this one. I'll send it to south. Because we still have enemies there who we can take out. I noticed actually in the last episode that there's actually only a narrow strip of Egyptian territory stopping our enemy in Arabia from entering and trying to attack Chirac. So I want to get the drop on them with my own units. So we're going to occupy this one. This is going to allow us to complete this region. My plan is to turn this one essentially into a military, kind of my military place in the southeast. Because I think it's a not too bad place to do it. Especially because I'm planning on making this one food, this one's going to be food. So I kind of need a military hub in my eastern area that I can use to make an army in case something happens in Syria. So this army is essentially untouched and will be good to go. So I'm going to start moving this one northeast as well, and to help assist in the war there. I do know that Bactria has an army attacking already here, so that means our ally over here is actually going to fall soon enough to Bactria. Bactria might be our next big threat if Egypt doesn't decide to attack us. So as things stand, we have a very large border with Egypt, but Egypt has yet to decide to open up hostilities with us. Let's see, the Ptolemy, they actually really like us. One thing they don't like about us is that we have an expansionism, and the fact that we have treaties with the Organai. They'll probably start liking us less and less over as time goes on, because Seleucids are essentially wiped out. I don't think they shouldn't have any other settlements. I believe they have a navy left over. I think that's all they have. So we no longer need to worry about them as a military threat. Now our big thing right now is keeping an eye on our internal borders, making sure we have enough food forever, all of our construction buildings. Honestly, I might start investing more into dignitaries and stuff like that. Like I need spies, I need champions, and I need I don't actually know what you use this for. They're provincial governors and master. Let's try it. Let's see. You look like the best one. You'll seem to. Let's Antigone. Antigone. So, let's see. So we have. This one's for all landings and local armies. Religious army. So this one, if I made one of these dignitaries over in the west in Syria, this would actually be a really good one to get. So this one's wealth, banditry, commercial wealth from commerce. So this one also is pretty good too. Both from agriculture. So this one, so I'm going to, where's this new agent that I just recruited? Where is she? She's over here. So I can't deploy her this term. If I deploy her, she'll increase tax rates and protect local settlements against authoritarian agent actions. I also want to recruit another one of these apparently pretty useful people. Over here, I'm going to make a Cleopatra. She's a tax collector, apparently. She's dependent, and not a very good thing to have. So she's a farmer. What is her stuff? Antogone is histrionic. Apparently, none of these guys are the best people to have, but I guess they're all that I get. So, I want a, where's my spies? They are somewhere. I haven't really used them for a while. But here's one of them. I want to send this one into Susia to get an idea of what the enemy armies that I'm going to be facing are like. I know I must have another one around here somewhere. Crate Terrace. Oh, he's way over here. Apparently, I haven't used him in a long time. So yeah, she's already being sent to scout out. I think that's going to be all we can do this turn. Next turn, what I want to do is I want to purge these guys next turn and then secure their loyalty. Because they're getting a little bit too much influence, I think. They might get a little bit too big for their britches. So we're going to knock them down a peg. And by purging them a little bit, then we secure the loyalty. So, you know, it's a bit of a love-hate relationship, you know? Just a bit. Just a little bit. Oh. You probably won't have another big battle this round, because mostly I'm going to be doing, I think, a little bit of intrigue. I also want to make that a new army in the west, because as the bigger we get, the more armies we need, because we have more borders to protect. The Egypt wants military access, but I don't really want military access, so I'm going to say no. Oh, there's one thing I want to do with Harmozia is I actually want to get military access from them and give it to them, as we'll secure our bond a little bit more. Because I know that I believe I saw an enemy army in their territory, so I want to make sure that if I go in there to wipe them out for them, especially because they're close enough to attack me, I want to make sure I can get rid of them without incurring my enemy's displeasure, my allies' displeasure. And I might want to start moving an army southwest towards Charax as well, because I'm a little bit paranoid about them trying to take it from me. As the episode title from a few episodes ago says, Trax is mine. I shall suffer no one else to take it from me. Sakaraka. Yeah, the Scythians are kind of like doing something. I don't quite know what they're doing. I think they beat up the other barbarian faction of the north, the Roxa Wachamajikis, who initially took out the guys who I had client stated. They had one job and they failed it. Their one job was to not lose their territory. Sure, I will actually give you military access if you give me 2,000 gold. Perfect. I like it. I like it. We're now bestest friends, and there is an enemy army there. So I think I'm going to send, once the army currently resting in Parsa is fully replenished, I'll probably send them to take it. Royal rival comes of age, with a careful upbringing under various tutors in the arts, sciences, and methods of warfare. This man has assumed his rightful place as a member of the royal family. His lineage can be traced back to the beginning of our family tree, but his nature is his own to mold. Will he take his place among the great names of the family, or simply fade into the obscurity of history? We lost our trade agreement with these guys because they died. I mean, they didn't die, but they're about to die, but they lost Aurea over here from Bactria. So how is the army in Paris looking? They will need a few turns to replenish, but once they do replenish, I plan on shipping them east to take these guys out. Because I don't want them taking out my ally, because my ally is not exactly all that strong. So you could probably pretty easily be wiped out by an enemy army. So on that note, a faction rises. Helici. A bit far away from us. So they're not going to be too much of that. What can I see over here? It looks like the Aridii are going to be a pretty big force here, and they really don't like me. They're a client state of Rome, so I'm pretty sure if I declare war on them, Rome might go to war with me. I'm not quite sure. I don't quite remember how client stating works, but if that is the case, then our friendliness with Rome will be a bit of a problem. What don't they like about me? They don't like that I have treaties with Athens and Sparta. They do like the fact that I pass war with pirates. I think.
In the name of the Republic, welcome.
Let's see, maybe military. No, I don't want to give them military access.
But do so with honesty.
I'll offer you payments to be my bestest friend. How about that? How much money would it take you to be my best friend, Rome? Apparently, a lot more money than I'm willing to give.
I am eager to hear your embassy, inspired as it undoubtedly.
How about
No. Your terms are
we
reasonable
be
as they
good
leave
friends?
your mouth. My people will find much joy in this.
Now, if they get attacked, I will be drawn into the war, but I'll join them. You know, it'll show that I have Rome's back, or that I have their back. I'm super glad I got Antioch, because it means I have a trading hub in the Mediterranean, not just going through the Dead Sea, which is enemy territory. And it might stop Pergamon from going after Rhodes, too, which honestly would make them a bit weaker, which is fine with me. Oh, Amasia, I'm going to build a homestead here. Ever since I realized grain storages are actually extremely useful, I've been making sure to invest in them. I don't have a lot of food right now, but I don't think there's any way I can really increase that right now. So I'm gonna do, but I want to make the army. That one's a pretty nice public order bonus, and especially because Akbaton doesn't really have any good public orders. I'm kind of reluctant to, remove this because it is a good benefit to have. So I want to make a who am I? What nobility am I? I'm the Spartacoid. I guess there's no Spartacoids yet. I'm gonna purge the Phanagoran nobility because they have too much influence. It only drops them to 22, but it's fine. And then I can secure their loyalty again. I kill a lot of them and then I secure their loyalty. It's kind of a weird thing to do, but I can. And I quite like the fact that I don't have any concerns about having a... and I can also further secure the loyalty by securing this promotion for this here lady of their faction. No, this is a different faction. Here's their faction. There, secured their loyalty by giving her a promotion. It did increase their influence a little bit after that, but it's better that I can purge them without too many problems later on. I can honestly probably purge this guy without too much problems, but I don't really want to do that right now. Because I've only just secured everyone else's loyalty. I don't think I'm going to just spend my rest of my money frivolously. I think I'm just going to end my turn here. Maybe build that Persian township while I'm at it. Parsa will have a little bit of agriculture, but it's more. I think I'm going to turn, as I said, I'm going to turn that into like the military hub of that area of the east. I actually didn't pay attention. I didn't actually bother to look to see if the Seleucids were still on the end turn thing or not. Looks like Susia is ripe for the taking. Doesn't have, it's not a capital because we have the capital already of the province, so it doesn't have any walls. So it looks like it should be pretty easy victory to take it, especially probably Nissa. And you know, there's no enemy armies there. They don't seem to be a very big faction to, you know, try to pick a fight with me. I was gonna go war with them anyways, but because they didn't like me and they picked the fight with me, it was even better for me. You know, one thing I'm really looking forward to is because we eventually will have to take Rome as part of our campaign objectives. Because I think the battle with Rome will actually be pretty big, because they seem to be getting pretty strong. So I'm looking forward to that war. If I really want to, I could turn this into an East versus West by allying myself with Egypt instead of trying to be semi-passive-aggressive against them. You know, be like, do we really want to be friends? I don't know, you know. I can actually be like, yeah, we could be friends. And then we go up against Rome and we basically do like East versus West. Who's going to win? And of course, it'd be me. But, you know, there might be some, you know, they didn't have a good title for an episode. Sakuraka is sending in an agent to try and harass us, I think. They did something. Something not good. The Scythiae. You know, like eventually I run out of things to talk about during these end turn things. They just take so long because there's so many factions and it's a bit of an older game, so it's not very fast. Admittedly, it took them, what, a few years before they fixed Mortal Empires and Warhammer 2 to make it a reasonable end turn length. Okay, so Parsa, don't you crash on me, Buckaroo. My life stack has been fixed. Yeah, there's a new royal rival. Now he's here now. So Spartacus V, or Spartacus V, was the son of Lucan II and a Spartacide ruler of the Bosporan kingdom. Spartacides are thought to be of Thracian origin and to have connections with the Odrysian dynasty, who are now dead, the rulers of the Odrysian kingdom. His namesake, Spartacus I, is often thought to have been a Thracian mercenary who was hired by the Archaeanectids, and that he usurped the Arachnids in around 438 BC, becoming king of the Bosporan kingdom. Then only a few cities, such as Pentacium, its now mighty empire, sprawling the land. Hustle expands. Faction encountered Daha, who are way over there. So they're not an immediate threat to us. We're going to send this army out to besiege Susia. I'm going to send this guy to the north. Just encircle for now. I won't do an end turn thing. I won't end the turn this turn. At the very least, I can get in position for the next episode where we'll take our first step in the war. These guys have fallen back, actually, which is a bit surprising. This army is now officially ready and raring to go. And this army is, of course, still, you know, making its way downtown. Same with these guys here. Or maybe I'll send these guys more toward past Susia while these guys take a turn to recover. This one can just push past it while this one comes in from the north. I think that might be a good thing to do. So we just had our livestock finish, which means we now upgrade our slaughterhouses and the like. I'm still going to make a pathway towards perennial irrigation, so that way I can get more and more food, because right now our biggest concern is food. I can now upgrade some of this one. This one gives more banditry, but also gives more food. So I think I'm a little bit less wealth. So I'm going to go for this one, even though it does have some negatives to it. I think the positives outweigh the negatives. But I think that was actually our only like ranch one in the area. So that's that. It looks like actually the Roxalama are still alive. I'm surprised on that front. Yeah, let's see. There's nothing else that I want to upgrade right now, because anything else I could upgrade would definitely cost us food. Except for this one, I might as well upgrade that. No, wait, I don't want to upgrade that one, because first, before I end the episode, I want to start making our newest army, Spartacus V. He will definitely... Let's see, what is this? Plus for noble... So this is the Royal Cavalry, so this is supposed to be even better. Let's see. As a charge bonus of 60... Yeah, it looks like this is actually a superior unit. So I'm going to have this guy, the Cyclops Slayers. He's going to make the mightiest army that has ever been in our nation. Originally, I was going to actually have this guy's army be the Roman army, but because they're using the Bosphorian infantry. But I'm thinking about this guy being, making this guy what I think is the most ideal Bosphorian army. Though admittedly, I kind of already have that, even though it's already outdated, which I find kind of funny. Because the fact that I already have better units than these Scythian Lancers and this General. So I guess I already have that, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this guy the Roman army. He's going to have one unit of cav to kind of assist him. Having a better, like, melee cav would be good, but I don't really have anything that's better for melee cav, so it's going to be... Majority of these guys are going to be these infantry, 3, 6, 8, 9. Then of course we need one unit of baggage train, and then we need spearmen to actually be able to hold our flanks effectively. So where is, hey, there it is, our Bosphorian heavy spearmen. These will be our anti-cav contingent. And we'll have 4 units of archers, the best archers in the land. We're not going to go for those Syrian heavy archers. Those guys are scrubs. These guys have better range, better damage. Infinitely better. So this is what I'm going to call the Bosporans' take on Rome. I'm thinking... I'm going to change these guys' names from the Cyclops Slayers to the Roma... I'm thinking of a good name. The Roman Doppelgangers. Maybe might be a good thing for that one. And then, let's see, what's a good symbol? Definitely not a horse for this army, because it's not really a horse army. The Kraken actually did make me think about it. Maybe we'll go for this one. If you guys have a better name for the Roman Doppelgangers, like something else that makes them like kind of like better, like Rome but better, you know, something like that, I would also accept that as a potential option for a name. And that will basically start us there. And we're going to end this episode here. Next episode, we are going to take Susia with our army. A weak army, admittedly, relatively speaking, compared to some of our newer ones, but a long-held tradition. The brave companions are nothing to sniff at. And maybe once we finish with this campaign, I can bring them to Syria or somewhere else to build them back up better and stronger than ever before. With that, guys, wish you guys a good day, night, evening, wherever it may be. Press the like button down below. Subscribe to see more of my content, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.